Today we shall be talking about the second installment into the Jurassic franchise, Jurassic Park: The Lost World. This movie stars the likes of Jeff Goldblum, Julianne Moore, Vince Vaughn, Pete Postlethwaite, Richard Attenborough, and even Peter Stormare. This movie features John Hammond basically setting up a new quest for the gang and for the likes of Malcom, as he has a second island, discloses that a second island was created as basically a breeding ground before they went into the original Jurassic Park. And he wants Malcom to go over there and observe the animals, see how they're growing and things like that. However, he hesitates and basically says no until he realises his girlfriend was sent in part of a 4 team members group going over there, and he was selected as the 4th member. But the others had, she'd already gone ahead and gone to the island, so he said, yes, I'm going to have to go now and go and, save her and everything and rescue her. So he goes and plans to go rescue her and observe the dinosaurs as well. However, the dinosaurs, soon finds out, will be the least of his worries, as he now has to put up with these poachers that are going to be there, which is going to make his job of rescuing and observing very, very much harder than it originally was. So what I liked then about this movie was the general progression of the characters in this movie, starting off with Malcom, of course. He, at the start of the movie, like previously mentioned, hesitated, could not give a fuck about going back to the island again, as he saw how deadly and how ruthless these dinosaurs were originally, and he did not want to go back there and step into the feeding grounds really of these dinosaurs. However, his hand was forced due to the fact that his girlfriend Sarah had gone there and she was already at the island, and so he was forced to go there and embark on a rescue mission. However, little did he know the poachers were going to go there, even though Hammond did, and that's why he wanted them to go there, to basically help in protecting, observing, and all the rest of it, of these creatures. Well, moving on. So Malcom, basically, at the end of the movie, is proven right in the end, as we see that Malcom is just sort of like going, you know what, this is why we shouldn't be messing around with these dinosaurs. And same with Sarah, and she basically changes her mind on the dinosaur spectrum, as well as she finds out how deadly they are, as one of the T-Rexes ends up getting taken back with them via the poachers, bringing them back and exploiting their worth and trying to put them in an enclosed environment. Instead, this T-Rex breaks out and goes on a mass killing spree, and that wouldn't have happened if the dinosaur didn't get brought in. And Malcom got proven right simply for the fact that these creatures should not be messed with and should be left on their own to do what they want to do. And same with Sarah in that retrospect, as she at the start of the movie was a bit more optimistic one to see about these dinosaurs. By the end of it, she was on a rescue mission of trying to, well, not a rescue mission as such, but trying to stop and prevent this dinosaur from doing any further damage. Moving on then to another character, Roland Tembo, or Tembo, whatever you want to pronounce it as. Either way, it's a Postlethwaite's character, sorry. And he, at the start of the movie, is very optimistic about this journey, and very sort of similar to Sarah, want to get in there, get stuck in, and he wants to capture one of these dinosaurs as a personal trophy for himself, and basically just goes, yeah, just to show off basically that he killed a dinosaur and all the rest of it, and he's very confident, sort of like a soldier-like person and a captain sort of thing. However, after seeing his fellow members of his team get mauled, he soon changes his mind about these dinosaurs and that they need to be taken seriously, rather than being a part of something where, people are just going to get killed by these dinosaurs, because they should be left on their own and shouldn't be messed with by humans. However, Peter does what he's set out to do, and then he is given a proposal after capturing one of the dinosaurs for them, is to come and join their San Francisco team, in which is like another Jurassic Park, but in San Francisco, and he refuses and says, I've spent enough time in the company of death, in which indicates to us that he made the wrong decision by going there, and soon finds out how dangerous these dinosaurs really are for himself And rather than gloating about his time there, I think he would be probably scarred by what he has seen. Just a little bit on how entertaining this movie was. It was pretty entertaining as a fan of Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs eating people and things like that. However, the whole story was a little bit disappointing in parts, but more onto that later on. As I really liked the actors and the actresses as well, as they were phenomenal. However, if I just had to mention a few that stood out in this movie, that's nothing to say that the others didn't stand out. I just picked three main ones that I thought were brilliant, and that were Jeff Goldblum, Peter Postlethwaite, and Julianne Moore. To me, they were the best in my opinion, as you had the likes of Postlethwaite absolutely showing how good he was, as I saw him in the likes of Brastoff and When Saturday Comes before this movie, and I really like his acting. He's quite straightforward in his acting. He's quite stubborn in certain movies like this one where he's set on his ways and whatever, but he soon gets broken down in this movie, and he's such a good actor and an incredible one, and hopefully we can do more of his movies because I think he is a brilliant actor. Jeff Goldblum, I thought he was excellent yet again, as we've covered him in Dominion and we've covered him in Jurassic Park 1, so if you haven't already, go check those movies out down in the description down below. And also let me know if there's other Jeff Goldblum movies as well, because I believe he was also in Boss Baby 2, I want to say. He's just such an incredible character, and he's so good at what he does in terms of acting, as he always brings that element of comedy to whatever he's doing. Even though this movie wasn't a comedy movie, he brought these elements of like one-liner jokes and things like that, which were pretty good as a whole. Also, the likes of Julianne Moore were also incredible in this movie, as she helped play the role of Sarah really, really well in my opinion, and I think she did pretty good. She brought a lot of joy to the character at first, a lot of excitement in what she was doing, very excited stepping into a world full of dinosaurs, snapping pictures and whatever, but her mood suddenly changes towards the end of the movie, in which we see on her acting skills, and she pulls it off fantastically, how she's then turns from examining these poor animals to helping treat some of these dinosaurs, and then to be brave enough to at the end of the movie to try to lure the T-Rex back into the cage, in which is all acting, and she did that fantastically in my opinion. However, I must say not everything in this movie smelled of roses, as there was a big hint of shit in my opinion, and that was the fact that this movie lacked a good story and was quite boring in parts as well. As if you've watched it, it's not as clear cut as the first movie. It's like, there's your story, there's your movie, let's go with it. However, this story was a bit crap. You had more action, in which is good for certain things, but I like action backed up with story at the same time, and that's what this movie lacked, a proper cutting edge story, in which they could have made, because I love Jurassic World 1, and that as a cutting edge story really gets it. Bosch, have that, you know what I mean? Whereas this one was more of a, here's a load of action, but not much story involved in this movie. Yeah, you had a bit of comedy here and there, but I want to see more story. And going on to the boring parts, I thought after the hour mark, I wasn't glued to the telly anymore. I was a bit like, oh, this is samey, and a bit nothing going on. It's because of the story element. I love a good story in a movie. That's why I watch it, to be involved in it, and to be immersed into the actual movie itself. To summarise the second installment then of the Jurassic Park franchise, I would say this was a decent movie, but lacked in story and was a little bit boring at times. Not to say it's a bad movie, it's just not the best. Hence why I've rated this movie a 7.2 out of 10. Let me know down in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree, and tell me why you disagree or why you agree, so then we can, expand on those things. Also, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be alerted to all the new content this channel creates, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Laters.